In this video, we're going to look at the trim function, which is a really useful function for cleaning and organizing data so that it's formatted consistently without spaces that don't need to be there. So we've got a short list of product codes here, and what you'll notice is that we have a couple of spaces between the beginning of the cell and 335 here. There's one space here, and then although you can't see it, there is actually a space at the end here which isn't needed also. This one is formatted sort of cleanly without any spaces that don't need to be there, but the others all have spaces that could be removed so that these are all formatted in the same way. So to get these consistent, we can use the trim function, so equals trim, and then you just select the text that you want to trim, so cell A2 to begin with, hit enter, and then we'll drag these down, and what you can see now is that all of these have had the spaces removed, and we'll just paste those as values. So the spaces at the end here have been removed, and then obviously we can see the spaces at the beginning of these two have been removed. So this is really useful. Say for example you had your product codes listed in one part of your spreadsheet and the product codes listed elsewhere in the part of the spreadsheet, and you wanted to use a VLOOKUP formula if you're dealing with a larger data range with other values in it. And say the product code lists were formatted inconsistently, so that one of the lists was clean without any spaces and then the other one had spaces. If you did a VLOOKUP formula there, it wouldn't work properly because the fact that there's spaces means the values are actually different. So it's a good way to get your data consistent before you start doing things like lookups in Excel. So that's the trim function. One other thing to be aware of is that it will keep spaces when they're between characters or between words if they're single spaces. So let's just do an example of that now. So let's say we've got one space here between the hyphen and 133, and then if we just run this function again across all these, so again it works on these three, but there is that space left in there for this one here, and that is because the function kind of assumes that if there's a single space between different characters or words, you'd want that to be in there. What it will do, however, is remove multiple spaces down to one when they're between words or characters. So let's do that there. We've put in an extra couple, and then you can see that the trim function is keeping just one there. So it's kind of assuming that we don't need all of these spaces and that we just want one. So that's something else to be aware of with the trim function. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it useful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.